Hey, I'm Jacob. Welcome to Choo. In this video, we're going to ask and answer maybe the question, can the mighty chili pepper save the world? We're going to be talking about nutritional benefits. We're going to be talking about medicinal benefits. We're going to be talking about weaponized chili peppers, which is a lot of fun. We're also going to be talking about a revegetation and reforestation project, which utilizes some elements of the chili, which is very, very interesting, which involves using drones and AI-assisted seed banks and stuff. So it's really, really curious. And we're also just going to talk about the general community spirit of chili. So, can the mighty chili pepper save the world? So let's start off by talking about nutrition. Chili peppers are known to be very, very, very good for your health. So I'm going to skim through this article, which is very well cited, and it links to multiple sources, including the National Institute of Health and various others that I checked, and then I checked that and I fact-checked that, and just to make sure all the sources were accurate, because any old dickhead can write anything they want, put it on the internet, and people link to that as fact. I see it all the time on forums, on chili forums, on Facebook and Reddit, where people link articles and go, see, I backed it up, and it's like, well, that's not written by anyone in particular, it's not cited, it's not peer-reviewed, i.e. it's fucking nonsense, so don't believe everything. So just so you know, I'm going to put a whole bunch of links in the description below with citations so you guys can verify this information. And it seems like the general medical and scientific consensus are all in agreement. So I think it's very important to cross-examine, and that's what I've done. So chili peppers are very rich in various vitamins and minerals, including vitamin C, vitamin B6, vitamin K1, potassium, copper, which is really interesting, and vitamin A, which is very high in beta carotene, which converts into vitamin A. So all these micronutrients really can benefit your health. There's also a bunch of other plant compounds. Half of this shit, I don't even know what it is, but I'll just link them here and we'll put up the nutritional information here, okay? Which means they're very, very nutritious. If you can withstand that heating, that burning, like that fucking sensation, eating a lot of chili is actually really, really good for you. A lot of people complain, they might say, oh, it upsets your ulcers in the stomach. There's very little evidence to suggest that chilies cause this. If you have, other than like allergic reactions, if you have problems already in your gut, things like acid reflux, whatever, of course the chili isn't going to benefit those. But you won't get an ulcer per se from just eating chili. And most of the time you're not eating massive quantities of this food anyway. I mean, I do. So they're absolutely beneficial to your health. Eating chili is good. It's also good for your mental health, and we'll talk a bit about that in a minute. So from a nutritional point of view, chili peppers, really good. Eat more chili. From a medicinal point of view, the capsaicin, the compound, that chemical responsible for the heating effect, has some really interesting health benefits as well. In fact, it's even used in, say, nasal spray, for example. It can also help with certain types of arthritic pain. They're using capsaicin to make certain creams, which can help with all sorts of skin conditions. I'll have a link to a bunch of them here. There are so many benefits to capsaicin, including dopamine releases. When you eat something really spicy, your body thinks it's under attack, or the receptors in your mouth get triggered. That can help release adrenaline, dopamine, various other euphoric type chemicals in your brain, which can help with your mental health. Yeah, it's not the same as saying blasting some weed to help with end-of-life anxiety, or popping some psilocybin to sort of help with some agoraphobic issues or PTSD, but every little bit helps. So eating spicy food can also increase your general overall happiness. There's actual real medicinal benefits, not just eating chilies, like they extract it, use it as a medicine, and this is scientifically founded as well. This isn't just some alternative hippie thing. Capsaicin has a serious number of health benefits, both medicinally and nutritionally, so consider that. Another interesting use is pepper spray, okay? Or bear mace. Like, there's not heaps of peer-reviewed studies on this, but from my research, what I could find here, I don't mean, did my own research, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I scoured the internet. We don't have bears in Australia, right? I mean, we've got gay bears, which is pretty cool, but we don't have, like, brown bears, right? But from all the research I've managed to find, the general consensus of people who are in the know, not me, but people who go hunting or are in bear territory, say that one of the best defenses against a bear attack is bear mace. Now, of course, it's not going to work 100% of the time. It's not, like I said, it's not peer-reviewed, but apparently chilies can protect you from bears, which is pretty cool. Also, they can protect you from a bunch of unruly teenagers, as in this video. Like, I don't know. what the fuck is going on here? I mean, these guys are just... Seriously, like, what fuckwit parents signed off on their kids getting sprayed in the face with pepper spray? But yes, weaponized capsaicin is a real thing. I'm a man of peace and love, but, you know, certain situations might call for a pepper spray. I don't know, but I'm not really sure what's going on with this one. I guess the point they're trying to make is teenagers suck or don't be a criminal because the cops are gonna, maybe it's propaganda. I don't know, but... So now we're gonna talk about something that's a lot more interesting. See, I live in Australia, right? And recently we had one of the biggest bushfires in the history of this country, and due to an incredibly inept government and incredibly inept government planning, lack of foresight or lack of caring, we lost tens of thousands of acres of forest, and it was really, really tragic. We just didn't have the resources to defend. With global warming on the rise, bushfires going out of control, we live in a very, very dry continent. It was quite tragic. We have horrible logging companies in this place and governments that allow for it, and a bunch of fucking douchebags that vote for said government. I like to keep my channel politically neutral, but let's just say we are decimating a ton of our natural infrastructure, our forests, right? On a global scale, this is a very familiar story. Like, we are losing our rainforests at an alarming rate, but there is some hope. A bunch of new companies and startups in the last, say, decade, utilizing AI-assisted drone delivery, have started what they call seed droning, which is using specialized pods that have all the necessary ingredients plus a seed to give a tree a new life. They load up these drones and they shoot them across difficult terrain that would take ages to get there if you were to manually plant these, even places that are inaccessible to the average Joe. These drones are flying around just bombarding barren wasteland or like deforest or places in Australia where logging has taken place and now they're trying to revegetate so that they can plant hundreds of thousands of trees just by flying over the head and dropping the seeds down there. It's really, really fascinating technology, and it might just be the solution to rapid reforestation, which is what this planet needs. I'll link to some articles in the description below because it is far more complicated than that, but it is absolutely fascinating. But you might be asking yourself, hey, J-Dog, what the hell does that have to do with chilies? They're not planting chilies everywhere. I mean, that would be my dream come true. And this is where it gets really fascinating. So I did a video a while back explaining what makes chilies hot. And as I explained earlier in the video, capsaicin is the chemical responsible for the heating effect. When you eat that capsaicin, or chili that contains capsaicin, all chilies have capsaicin, it triggers a receptor in your mouth, which tricks your brain into thinking you're being burnt or chafed. This is an irritant. Capsaicin is actually known as a mammalian irritant, as in mammals are irritated by capsaicin. The funny thing, through natural selection, which I explain in this video in much more detail, capsaicin only affects mammals. In other words, birds and reptiles, for example, are unaffected by capsaicin. This is an evolutionary byproduct of these plants. It's a survival mechanism. Mammals with molars who crush seeds aren't going to want to eat this thing. Birds will, and they won't destroy the seed, etc. I explained it all in the video. So what this means is, when these seed pods are being dropped, what they are discovering is that a lot of these seeds are getting eaten by rodents, such as squirrels or rats, mice, etc., other little things, before the plant has a chance to strike, i.e. grow into a tree, right? So you can imagine these drones dropping hundreds of thousands of seeds. They're essentially just creating a massive smorgasbord for rats and rodents and whatnot, right? So we need some kind of deterrent. Now, what they've discovered is that if they were to create some sort of coating substance out of capsaicin, which affects mammals, such as rats, on these seed pods, when they drop, the rats potentially, and this is what the research is finding, the rodents are not likely to eat that seed because it's burning and it tastes like shit. So they look for alternative food sources. It sounds a bit far-fetched and the research isn't quite there yet, but there are birdseed companies that create hot seed, I think they call it, or like burning seeds. Essentially, it's seeds coated in capsaicin oil because the birds, as I mentioned, are unaffected by the capsaicin. Like in America and Europe where they have a problem with squirrels eating the bird seed, they want some sort of deterrent. So they actually create hot seed to try to deter squirrels. And you're wondering, is this just a gimmick? Does this even work? Well, I found the video of this legend over at Birdwatching HQ. He did the experiment himself. Clearly, it's quite conclusive. The squirrels would not eat the spicy seed, yet the birds didn't give a shit. So there is some evidence, there is some real thought behind this. that if these seed drones were to utilize capsaicin as a mammalian irritant, this might just solve the world's deforestation problem. Chilies might actually be the solution to re-wilding, re-vegetating the entire fucking planet. I don't know, that might be a bit of an exaggeration, but the evidence is there. The drones exist, the AI technology exists. We need more trees, we need more forests, and we need less rats eating the seeds before they can strike and grow into a tree. Capsaicin deters mammals. I mean, it makes sense. The research is still being done. The evidence suggests that this is a good solution. Can chilies help reforest the entire planet? I'm leaning towards yes. One more thing to consider about chili peppers is, aside from the obvious nutritional benefits, the clear medicinal benefits, the spraying teenagers in the face benefits, which is always fun, the potential to help massive reforestation programs, is just the general community spirit behind chilies. I own and operate a hot sauce company. That's what I do full time, right? And I've been doing that for about 6 years now. I've been making the stuff forever, but I've been selling it for about 5-6 years. So I sell most of my stuff through markets and festivals, which means I attend a lot of chili fests. And I can tell you what, the sheer joy of spicy food that spicy food brings to so many people is truly inspiring. Like, we have so many people, they get so excited when they see that we're there, and other chili sauce makers and hot foods, because it's exciting, right? It triggers weird sensations in your mouth. People, oh, what's your hottest sauce? They want to come over and try it. You can't really put a price on joy. The euphoria of hot food, the dopamine release, the community spirit, people cheering on a chili eating competition. There's nothing quite like it. The fire, the spice, the heat. It really is, I'm really grateful to be able to do this line of work. Do I wish I had 10 times as many sales? Abso-fucking-lutely. It's a niche product in a saturated market, but I do this full time, so we are getting there. I also helped a friend recently run a chili themed pop-up market here in the Adelaide Hills, and yeah, we had a very successful turnout. Everyone was really excited. Everyone made a good amount of money. It was a free event, so people off the streets just rolled in. Everyone was so fascinated. What the hell is going on here? What is this chili all about? We had free samples and hot foods, and it was just so beautiful to see families just getting together and celebrating the love and passion and excitement of the mighty chili. And I don't think you can put a price on that happiness. At the end of the day, that's the most important thing, right? Is being happy and healthy. Chili, as we know, the chili pepper, is good for your health. It's good for your mental health. It might help with reforestation, which is good for the planet in whole, and it's good for community spirit. So can the mighty chili pepper, can these little balls of death save the planet? I think, yeah. At least that's what I want to believe. So you let me know what you think in the comments below. I've been Jacob. You've been watching Choo. Go and buy some of my hot sauce, because it's tip top. Speaking of mental health, I don't know if you'll see this in time, but we are partaking in the push-up challenge. We do it every single year, which is a fundraising and awareness generating thing for better mental health, where you have to complete an X amount of push-ups in X amount of time to raise money and awareness for better mental health. So if that's your jam, jump on our Facebook page, jump onto our website. It's all the details are there. You can sign up for free, or you can donate. You don't have to do push-ups. You can swap out those exercises, but it is a lot of fun. So let me know what you think about the mighty chili pepper. I personally love the guts out of these things, and I love you guys too. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.